humiliating me yesterday, old lady. You've really done it this time. I still haven't forgiven you in the slightest. You ruined everything, yet again.
What did I do yesterday, exactly?
Don't play dumb with me. You know exactly what you did. I'm talking about when I brought my boyfriend home, and the two of us were watching movies in the living room. Everything was going perfectly. And then you just had to ruin everything like you always do. You totally killed the vibe by walking out of your office like that. Steve won't even text or call me anymore because of you.
Gee, I'm sorry about your date, but you know, I sort of live here, so it's not exactly unnatural for me to be home. Besides, I already told you last week I was going to be working from home from now on, so I'm not really sure what you want from me at this point, honey. Maybe you should have gone to Steve's house instead, you know?
Well, I don't remember you saying anything like that, so clearly you must have left me out of the memo. You ought to start wearing a bell or something.
And while we're at it, could you please call me anything but old lady? I'll take Mother, or Mom, or even Rebecca. Just not that, please. We've been over this before.
Shut up! Maybe if you weren't such an old lady, Steve wouldn't have dumped me at school today.
Ruby, if he broke up with you over one sour date, are you sure he was the right guy for you?
No, he broke up with me because he said you're always getting in our way and that you don't even like him. He was the hottest guy in school, and you blew it for me. Not just once, but over and over again.
All right, let's take a step back. I understand me being around the house is killing your vibe, but I've never been against Steve. He seems like a fine young man.
Maybe you're too old and senile to understand, but you've been a pain in my side at every possible moment. You always walked into my room without knocking while I was on video with Steve, and you even called me while we were on a date at the park. I mean, who does that?
Oh, please. That was hardly anything humiliating. I was just coming up to your room to tell you dinner was ready. We always eat dinner together in this house, and you didn't respond to my texts, so I simply decided to tell you in person.
Ugh. Do you even realize how lame you sound right now? It's like you have no idea what my life is even like.
And as for that date at the park, you make it sound like I just interrupted you randomly, but that's not what happened at all, and you know it. I know you think I'm going senile, but I distinctly remember calling you because I asked you to be home by 8 and you were out past 10.
Oh my God, Mom! I'm in high school? Can you seriously drop the overprotective act at this point? I'm practically an adult at this point, and you still think I'm a baby. All these rules and this curfew nonsense you come up with can go to hell for all I care.
Ruby, please. That's no way to talk to anyone, let alone me. You know I only do these things because I love you very dearly.
And trust me, if you think I hate all of your rules, you should have heard what Dad said about them when you weren't around. Of course he'd want to make time for a girlfriend that he could actually have fun with every once in a while instead of suffering with you every day.
Excuse me? Ruby, how could you say such a thing about your own father?
Oops, sorry. I guess I revealed my cards this time. Silly me. But you know, cat's out of the bag and all that. I know Dad's cheating on you with a woman half his age.
You're kidding, right? Dear, please don't say things like that unless you're certain.
Oh, I've known without a doubt for almost half a year at this point. I even saw them on a date and everything. Ha!
Even if that were true, why wait this long to tell me? Surely this isn't your idea of revenge against Steve, was it?
I pretty much found out by accident. And if Dad's that bad at hiding it, I'm certain you've had suspicions of your own by now. Still, I thought it was weird you didn't just leave him, you know? That's what most people would do if they found out they were being cheated on. Then it totally hit me. The truth is, you can't bear to live without him, or at least his money. So you put up with him knowing he's unfaithful.
His money? I'm not some gold digger, Ruby. Trust me, I'm doing just fine for myself. Not that you care to know what my work is like.
Oh, please. Dad works for some huge company, and your salary is like a fraction of his. If you left him, there's no way you get by without moving to some crappy apartment. So you stay with him because you care more about your status.
Look, I know you're upset about how I've treated you, and I'm sorry for that. But this is unbelievable. I'm appalled you'd paint me as some kind of money grubber.
But that's exactly what you are. You're just a sad, sad lady. Too comfortable in her current situation to accept you've been left behind by the man you love. You can't handle that your best days are behind you. And now you need to take it out on your teenage daughter, sabotaging her attempts at finding love. Only a truly sad, miserable woman like you could be so invested in taking everyone down with her.
You must be sick if you think the world actually revolves around you like that.
Well, unlike you, I'm not content to sit, rot, and cling to those around me. So I'm taking care of your divorce papers myself. No need to thank me. Your reign of terror against my life ends now. And soon I'll have you out of my hair for good.
Wait, what's this about divorce papers? You're joking, right?
Why don't you go down to the courthouse, ask for those records, and see for yourself how serious I'm being? I told them I was submitting the paperwork on your behalf, and the people there didn't even question it for a second.
Are you out of your mind?
No, I'm following perfectly sound logic. You're always in my way. Dad doesn't love you, and you only exist to bother other people. I don't need you in my life at all. So as far as I'm concerned, you can get divorced, get broke, and get lost.
Hey, I just got a message from Ruby. Did she actually file for our divorce, or is this some kind of prank?
I'm at the courthouse myself checking the paperwork. But sadly, it looks like that's the case. Everything looks correctly filed, and it's not exactly something you can just say was a joke. I don't know whether to be horrified or impressed.
Seriously. I can't believe that she would do something like that. She really saved me a lot of trouble on my end. Phew! Ha!
She did what?
Man, I thought it was gonna be years before I'd be able to divorce you. This is a real time saver. We raised a winner, I'm telling you.
All right, hold it. You wanted something like this to happen?
If it's not obvious, I've still been seeing Cassandra, though I doubt you were really questioning that at this point.
Of course you are. Why am I not surprised? I was hoping you'd give up the ghost after I'd found you out, but I guess that was wishful thinking on my part, huh?
Look, I know you think I'm being seduced by some young fling, but the truth is my feelings towards her are real. This is a serious relationship for both of us. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but my heart tells me I need to marry her, and divorcing you is a painful step to happiness.
Okay. You want to leave me behind for the latest model? Fine. Be my guest. But what about Ruby? How do you think she's going to cope with her father being such a shallow man? No girl should have to go through that, especially when she's this volatile already.
I mean, she clearly can't be that broken up about it if she's the one who filed those papers. On the contrary, I'd say she's all for it. If it's money you're worried about, don't worry. I'll pay for whatever settlement you want, seeing as you're already drawing the short straw here. Anyways, if it seems like everything's in order with the paperwork, you should head home, pack your bags, and split. I've got no need for a meddlesome ex-wife around the house.
All right, Mom. I've decided you can come home now. I'll even let you marry Dad again.
Good evening to you, too. Why the sudden change? Or is this your cruel idea of a joke at my expense?
Well, the truth is, I owe you an apology for last week. I was acting totally out of line, like fully hysterical and all that. After Steve broke up with me, I heard from a friend that he was actually seeing a girl from another school at the same time we were dating. Talk about creepy. I actually dodged a huge bullet by having him dump me, so I seriously owe you one. Thanks for getting him away from me, Mom.
Like I said before, that really wasn't my intention. But I'll take any kind words you have for me, I suppose.
You're so humble. Give yourself a little credit. You're a lifesaver. You can say you didn't know any better, but I think deep down, you were valiantly protecting your daughter from an evil, untrustworthy man. So thank you. That's the kind of love and support I can only get from my dear mother. Now, come home so we can be a family again.
I'm very flattered that you think so highly of me all of a sudden, but I'm not just going to get undivorced because you want me to. You told me yourself that all I do is make things harder for you and that you wanted nothing to do with me. Remember?
Yeah, but like I said, I was totally out of line. I was just going through some stuff and I snapped and took it out on you. I'm really broken up about it, and I would take everything back if I had a time machine. Plus, I really don't want to live with Dad anymore, okay?
Why's that? Did you get in a shouting match with him too?
More like a boxing match. We were practically at each other's throats last night.
Oh my God, what happened? Are you all right? Did he hurt you?
Well, it started when he suddenly told me he was cutting my allowance, and I got all pissed off at him. And when I tried to ask him why, he told me to get a job.
Why would he say something like that?
Hell if I know. It probably has something to do with the fact that you were doing our family's finances, apparently. I wish I'd known that before I told you to scram. Is what Dad told me about you true? Are you actually making double his salary? I thought your company was tiny. And was this about some huge summer bonus? Did they really pay you 10 grand or something?
First, the divorce papers. Now you want to know about our finances and my bonus? You're becoming a regular detective, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I distinctly remember you not paying any attention to where our money came from up until now.
Well, if it means I'm not getting any money from you guys, of course I need to pay attention. I just started looking at receipts in our tax returns, and it started to click for me. Dad works for that big company, but he's just some rank-and-file grunt. He hasn't been promoted in years, and at this rate, that's not going to change anytime soon.
Tell me something I don't know.
Anyways, that's when I realized you're a total girl boss, and you're just too cool to show it around me, you know? The place you work at is a small fry company, but you've been climbing the corporate ladder like crazy. You're nothing like Dad. You're some kind of big shot.
You could say that, sure. I'm not totally sure what a girl boss is, but if you're wondering who's been putting food on the table, hell, who's been paying the mortgage? That would be me.
Yeah, that's why the house is in total disarray without you. I need you here to keep things afloat. Seriously. I can't even get Dad to give me a little spending money. There's no way I'm gonna make it through college without a scholarship or some student loans. I mean, what kind of father is willing to bury his own daughter in debt?
Your father, apparently. Good luck figuring things out with him, Ruby.
I can't figure things out with him. That's why I'm texting you in the first place. Please, come home already and make things right, Mom. Besides, you don't really want to be all alone right now, do you? That sounds pretty depressing to me, at least. If you come back, the three of us can be a happy family again. Just like old times.
A happy family. Is that what we were?
Okay, I know it hasn't always been peachy between us, and you're probably still furious at how Dad and I treated you. But think about me. I'm your kid. How am I supposed to grow up, be well-adjusted, and have a normal life if I don't have my mother in my life? For your lovely daughter's sake, won't you remarry Dad?
And just how do you expect me to marry him when he's already married someone else?
Someone else?
Even if I were to remarry him. Not that I would in a million years after what he's done. Andrew has already moved on and tied the knot.
Wait, what are you talking about? He hasn't told me anything like that.
Interesting. You live together and yet he keeps secrets from you. That sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? And here I thought he would have worked up the courage to take you to meet your new family by now.
My new family?
You remember your father's affair, don't you? What am I saying? Of course you do. You seemed to relish in dangling that nasty bit of drama over me last week. I heard from an acquaintance down at the courthouse that he and that young lady tied the knot. No fancy reception yet, just official paperwork, naturally.
Hang on. He already married that chick? But you guys, just got divorced.
He told me himself that they were in quite the committed relationship. In fact, he was quite ecstatic that you got us divorced, as I recall. If these feelings were as serious as you say, don't you think it makes sense he got married to her as soon as he could?
Sure, I guess. But he's moving way too fast. Can't you talk some sense into him?
I think he's moved on from me, honey. Incidentally, that new wife of his, a little bird told me she has 4 kids. From a previous marriage, of course. Play nice with your new brothers and sisters, okay, Ruby? I'm sure you'll be a great role model to them, seeing how old and independent you are.
Oh, come on! What was Dad thinking, cheating with a lady who has kids?
What's odd about that? He is a father, too, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm an only child, and I'm almost an adult. I can't live with 4 other kids. That's just crazy talk.
Them's the breaks, dear. I can't marry him again, nor do I particularly want to. So please don't try to push it any further. There's nothing I can do, I'm afraid. If you really want to do something about your situation, talk to your father, okay?
No way. I grilled Dad about it, and he really did marry that Cassandra lady. Not only does she have 4 kids already, she's been pregnant for 4 months with another. And this time it's his.
My. The man couldn't wait to divorce me before he knocked her up, could he? I guess it's true what they say. Love makes us do crazy things.
Her kids are all way younger than me, and now I'm stuck babysitting them all the time. This sucks so much. Worst of all, Dad's crummy salary can't feed all these brats, so I need to get a job to make ends meet.
Phew, sounds like you've got quite a bit on your plate. It isn't easy being the woman of the house, but if you're anything like me, you'll get used to it in no time.
I'm not getting used to anything. You hear me? This is not what I signed up for. If I knew it was gonna be like this, I never would have kicked you out. Please, Mom. You've gotta let me move in with you instead. I'm begging you.
Sorry, but no can do. I'm not saving you from this, Ruby. You dug this hole for yourself. Now you have to climb out of it. The thought of us living together sends chills down my spine after what you did to me. You called me a girl boss, right? Think of this as just business. That's all.
What are you talking about? Are you seriously just gonna disown me or forsake me or something?
Point of order. You're the one who disowned me in the first place. Like I said, you dug it yourself. You get to climb out of it yourself. Take care, darling.
Okay, Rebecca. Name your price. I'll do whatever it takes, but please, I'm begging you, take Ruby off my hands.
That's the Andrew I know. Crawling back to me when his plans blow up in his face. I could have sworn you told me recently we'd raised a winner. When was that? Oh, yes. When she filed for our divorce on your behalf. That's right. So, get to it. What did she do this time?
Look, I said she did me a solid, and I stand by that. But I'm at my limit with her. I thought everything was going well when I got Cassandra and her kids to move into the place. But Ruby's gone ballistic. Seriously, she's lost all respect for me. And now it's like trying to deal with a feral house cat every time I talk to her.
Our daughter being uncontrollable and demented? Who could have predicted that?
I was hoping for a lively, happy house with all these kids running around. But Ruby's fully rejected the idea and is terrorizing us. I'm talking throwing things, yelling, screaming, getting into fights with her siblings. She's a monster.
A monster, huh? She didn't get that from me, I can tell you that much.
Trust me, she's beyond reason. You have no idea how many times I've tried to apologize to her only for her to call me a broke-old geezer.
Now you know how I feel.
The point is, I can take all the punishment in the world, but for Cassandra and the kids' sake, this has to stop. My wife is legitimately scared of Ruby, and the kids are on the verge of being completely traumatized or seriously injured. You're the only one here who can handle her, and I gave you practically every last cent of savings in the settlement, so please, do something.
You definitely paid a pretty penny to get rid of me, that's for certain.
That's why I'm asking you to save us. Just this once. She talks about you all the time. I know we'd all be much happier if we just played along with her game one last time.
I heard it from her myself, and I turned her down already. Sorry. I'm my own woman from now on, and you two are fully in my rear view at this point. Besides, you've got a baby on the way, so I'd say focus on the future, right? Anyways, good luck taking care of Ruby. She's a handful now, but I'm sure she'll smooth out into a fine young woman someday.
At the rate this is going, Cassandra will leave me well before that happens. Alright, fine. You won't take Ruby to live with you. I get it. How about instead, we become a family again?
You're kidding me, right? I know I said you were crawling back to me, but you want to marry me again, is that it?
Yes. I'm on my knees. I'll never ask you for anything ever again. But please, let's just go back to the way things were, okay?
Listen to yourself, Andrew. What are you going to do? Divorce Cassandra so you can marry me after you divorced me so you could marry her and have your happy little sitcom family? It sounds like a bad joke you hear at a party. Get a grip, why don't you?
Don't get me wrong. I was really happy when Cassandra and I were able to be together. But raising 5 kids under one roof? It's turning out to be a lot harder than I thought.
Oh, is it now?
I mean, the kids are pretty young right now, so we're managing just fine. But once they become teenagers, I don't know if I'm going to be able to support them financially, let alone emotionally. If they're anything like Ruby, that is. Everything was so much easier with you, Rebecca. I never worried about anything like this, and you always had my back.
Easier for you, maybe. Do you think I'm sitting here fondly reminiscing about doing our finances and taking care of Ruby while you cheated on me? You were coasting through life thanks to me, and yet I still wasn't enough for you, apparently.
Look, Cassandra's already turning on me. I'm sure we'll split up before too long. So, if I'm single again, you'll take me back, won't you?
I hope she does leave you, so you can have some time alone to reflect on what you've done. You're insane if you think I'd ever get back with you, Andrew.
Please, you can't do this to me.
I can and I will. Do me a favor, and don't ever bother me again with this kind of stupid text, okay? The next time it happens, I'll be giving your boss a call, and you can bet he's gonna hear more than my 2 cents on the matter.
You wouldn't go that far, would you? I know it's been rough, but please, you know this job is all I have.
It's not like you'll ever be up for promotion anyways, but still. I'm sure you wouldn't want your superiors breathing down your neck, right? I can't imagine they'd want to keep someone around who's been caught harassing his ex-wife. I know I certainly wouldn't. Now, lose my number and forget I exist. Because you won't ever see a single red cent from me ever again. After that last exchange of barbs, I never heard from Andrew again. I would feel bad for his sinking ship of a life if he hadn't tried to take me down with him. From what I heard, Ruby's demonic behavior was so bad that Cassandra girl ended up divorcing him, to no one's surprise. Still, when she left, that joker was now saddled with paying child support for the baby she was expecting. He'd already blown most of his life savings on settling with me, so I'm surprised she managed to squeeze any money out of him. But I'm sure he's flat out broke now. Interestingly, our daughter's condition didn't actually improve much after Cassandra took her kids and left. Andrew blamed Ruby for his newfound poverty, and Ruby in turn saw him as the one who pushed me out of their lives. It seems fitting that the two people who couldn't take responsibility would end up locked in a battle of shifting blame, unable to move on from their mistakes. I think after all the hell they've given me, let alone each other, they deserve to suffer together, and I'll be glad to never see or hear from them again. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe to see more videos like it soon.
How much longer do you plan on leaving all your belongings spread out in your room? If you don't collect it all soon, I'm just going to throw it out the window. You know I can't come collect my belongings right now. I'm in the hospital. Why are you telling me all this when you know that I can't do anything about it? Because all your stuff gets in the way. If you're going to move out of the house, then please do it as soon as possible. I'm sorry, but I can't move out right away. I'm going to need some time to find a new place to move to. If possible, I'd like to live there a little bit longer. I don't want to move out yet. You're joking, right? Are you really planning to continue living here? I think it's about time you moved out. I'm getting really tired of this situation. How many times do I have to tell you this? We're happy as long as your brother Kyle lives with us. He's very smart and he has a fantastic job with a great income. We really don't care about you at all. In fact, we want you gone. I know that you want me gone, but what you did was totally crazy, Mom. I can't believe you poured boiling water all over my back. That's not the kind of thing you should be doing to your daughter. In fact, it's the kind of thing that you shouldn't be doing to anyone. What you did to me was really unacceptable. I also can't believe that Kyle had terminated my health insurance and taken the money. The hospital fees are really expensive because I don't have any health insurance right now. I had to do that. I really had no other choice. I wanted you to move out from a long time ago, but you decided not to. I only poured boiling water all over you so that you would move out. You must be insane. You didn't have to do that. You should have talked to me about it and I would have thought about moving out. Also, you keep on asking me to move out, but you don't really have the right to do that. That house was given to me and Kyle as inheritance when Dad passed away. Why do I have to be the one that gets kicked out? That's my house, as well you know. I also have a lot of precious memories with Dad in that house. This is why I hate you, Mary. You love Dad so much, but you never seem to like me that much. You're also dumb and pretty ugly. I really want you out the house. I can't stand looking at your stupid face anymore. I really love Dad because he would treat me like a normal human being. All you ever did was compare me to Kyle. You always made fun of me and insulted me for not being as good as him. Dad would love and care for me no matter what. He didn't compare me to anyone. He respected me for who I was. That's why I prefer being with him much more than being with you. Yeah, I really don't care about any of that now. Your dad that loved you so much is no longer here with us. There is no need for you to stay in this house any longer now that he's gone, right? I really want to live in this house with just Kyle. There's no place for you here. How could you say that to me? I'm still your daughter. I really wish you weren't my daughter. I really didn't like you from a long time ago, but I hate you right now. You're an adult, but you can't even find a job. How long have you been unemployed for now? How much longer are you planning to depend on me? I don't want to have to babysit you forever. What are you talking about? I'm not unemployed. I work very hard at my job every single day. Stop making up lies like that. All you do is stay in your room all day. You barely ever leave your room during the day. If you're just going to be lazy in your room every single day, there's no need for you to live here. You can have exactly the same lifestyle anywhere else. That's why I'm asking you to move out. Please just hurry and get the hell out of here. If you don't, I'm going to have to pour boiling water all over you again. I really don't want to have to do that again to you. How can you treat me like this, Mom? Do you really hate me that much? I might have been a little clumsy and dumb growing up. I still tried my best to impress you. I wanted you to love me. I'm your daughter.
Please stop talking about things like that. It's just a huge waste of time. I don't have the time to just chat.
Do you care what happens to me? Do you even see me as your daughter at all?
Not really. I only gave birth to you because Kyle was such a successful child. I thought that you would be similar to him. Unfortunately for me, you turned out to be a total failure. I never would have given birth to you if I knew you would turn out like this. I wish I could go back in time and decide not to have a second child.
I'm just so shocked to hear that from you. I'm speechless. I really can't believe that you're my mom. How could you say all those horrendous things to me?
You really need to shut up. You don't even understand how difficult it is to be a mom. It's really stressful being the mom of a failed child like you. You have no idea how I feel at all, so you have no right to accuse me of anything.
Fine, that's it. I'm tired of trying to talk to you. I'm just gonna give up if I'm hated by you this much. I'm going to stop trying to get you to accept and love me. I've realized that it's completely hopeless. You're never going to change.
So you finally decided to move out then. Thank you so much. It's a huge weight off my shoulders. It feels so good to finally be free from you. This is the happiest I've felt in a long time. Hey Mary, how have you been doing? Did you miss me?
What do you want from me, Mom? I don't want to talk to you.
Why are you being so cold towards me? We haven't talked in like 6 months.
I'm just a little shocked to be receiving a text from you. I thought that I would never have to see or talk to you ever again. What do you want from me all of a sudden? Why did you text me? Get straight to the point. I really don't have that much time.
I can't believe you're talking like this to your own mom. How rude of you. I heard some rumors that you're earning a pretty nice salary these days. Is that really true? You finally managed to find a job?
Who did you hear all of this from?
I heard it from your Uncle Jim. He told me that you were working really hard these days. According to him, you've been really successful lately.
So it was Uncle Jim that told you about all this. It makes sense because I've been asking him to do some work for me. He's a tax accountant after all.
Wait, hold on a minute. Why would you need help from a tax accountant? What kind of job do you have?
I still work the same job as I always have. I work from home as a stock trader and stock portfolio manager.
A stock trader?
Yeah, I trade stocks and I also give advice to people on what stocks they should buy. I do this as a freelancer, so I've been asking Uncle Jim to help out with the taxes. The process is really confusing and I was struggling to do it by myself. That's when I remembered that Uncle Jim was a tax advisor.
I had no idea about any of this. Just how much are you earning right now?
I think I'm earning around $100,000 a year. I don't really want to tell anyone about it because it's not that much. I think I can make a lot more in the near future.
Are you seriously earning that much? So
You're earning around $8,000 a month? Yeah, around that. It fluctuates depending on how much time I've been working though.
you're only earning this much because I kicked you out the house, right? You should be grateful to me.
What are you talking about?
You decided to start working hard because I kicked you out the house, right? Your current success is all due to what I did to you. I'm really glad I managed to help you out like this. Would you be able to pay me back for what I did to you? How about you start by moving back in with us?
Move back in with you? You're joking, right? Why would I ever want to move back in with someone like you? I've never felt grateful for you a single time in my life. Have you already forgotten how you kicked me out of the house? What you did to me was unacceptable. I am never going to forgive you for that.
You're still angry about that? It happened such a long time ago. I think it's about time you forgave me for that. I am sorry for pouring the boiling water all over you. I was really stressed out at the time and I couldn't help myself. Now that I think about it, I did go a little too far. I would love for you to move back in with us. I promise the same thing will never happen again. You have lots of money now, right?
I have no intention of moving back in with you. I've already built my own house.
Wait, what did you just say? You have your own house now?
Yeah, I have my own house. I had it built so it would be comfortable for me to both live and work from.
You didn't build a house just for yourself, did you? Are you married now?
Yeah, I got married a little while ago. I had a boyfriend that was planning to marry me once I moved out from your house. We decided to get married a few weeks after you kicked me out. We also decided to get a house built for the two of us.
I'm really surprised to hear that, Mary. You really are my child, aren't you? I'm really proud of you. The house must be pretty big, right? We're gonna move in with you guys. Let's all live together as one big family.
What the hell are you saying? Do you really think that I would just say yes to you and Kyle moving in with us?
You're gonna let us move in with you, right? We're your family after all. We have every right to live with you.
What happened to the house that Dad left for us? The house that you kicked me out of by pouring boiling water all over me?
The house is no longer our property.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
Kyle became addicted to gambling and managed to get us into a huge amount of debt. He had to sell the house so he could return the money he borrowed. I had no idea he was a gambling addict. I was shocked when he told me how much debt he was in.
That's shocking to hear. I expected better from Kyle.
That isn't even everything. Kyle also stole some money from his company so he could keep on gambling. He was fired from his company immediately. It was such a famous company with such great salaries.
Yeah, he completely deserves to get fired for that. I still can't believe that you guys sold off the house without even consulting me. That's what I'm shocked about the most.
He's also being fined $500,000 from his company for stealing their money and ruining the company's reputation. He had no choice but to sell the house and try to pay the fine.
Okay, it's all starting to make sense now. I'm so disappointed in him.
The problem is that selling the house wasn't enough. He still owes the company around $200,000. We really need you to help us out. Both me and Kyle don't have any money or time. We also don't have a job either. Can you help us out, right? We're family after all.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do to help you guys out.
What are you talking about? There's so many things you can do for us. You can start by letting us move into your house. We really need a place to live. I also want you to start giving us some financial support. We both need some cash to pay for our living expenses. A couple of $100s will be enough for now. We can talk about increasing it a little later on.
Are you seriously asking me to support you guys financially? There's no way that is happening. Neither of you seemed to care about me when we were living together. There's absolutely no reason for me to help you guys out.
We're family. That's enough of a reason to help us out. You also received some inheritance money from Dad, right? Me and Kyle already used up all the inheritance money that we received. Please give us some of that inheritance money. Dad left it to us in case of emergencies. Now is the time to use it.
I'm not giving you my portion of the inheritance money. I'm really planning to save it for when I need the money. It's not my fault that both you and Kyle spent it already. I spent a small portion of it to build a nice doghouse for my dog in our garden. The rest I'm planning to save up for when I really need it.
You spent your inheritance money on a doghouse? What a waste. You should be giving that money to help us out.
Actually, I really love my dog, so it's definitely worth the money. He's much more like a family member to me than you guys are. Also, you need to stop judging me for what I spend the inheritance money on. You spent all of it on high-brand bags and clothes that you barely even wear. That's a huge waste of money. I'm guessing that Kyle decided to spend it all on gambling too? I'm very content with the way I spent a small portion of my inheritance money. The doghouse is really spacious and looks very nice. Do you still have any complaints?
Of course I have complaints. That money would have been better spent by me and Kyle. We really need that money right now. You really are the worst kind of person.
I'm sorry? What did you just say to me?
I said you're the worst. How could you treat your own family like this?
I should be the one saying that to you guys. You insulted me my entire life while growing up. In the end, you poured boiling water all over me and kicked me out of the house that Dad gave to me. Kyle canceled my health insurance without me knowing and stole the money that was saved from it. I was told that my health insurance didn't exist when I went to the hospital after you poured boiling water over me. I had to pay the full fee to the hospital because of that. I absolutely hate the both of you from the bottom of my heart. You both treated me like I wasn't part of the family. Now, I'm going to take revenge for that and watch you guys suffer. I'm not going to offer you any help, to either of you. You don't deserve any help from me.
I already told you I was really stressed out at the time. I'm sorry for pouring the boiling water over you. Being a mom can be really stressful at times. I'm sure you'll understand when you have your own child.
Being stressed out doesn't excuse what you did to me. I am never going to turn out to be a mom like you, so I won't ever understand your feelings. Please stop trying to ask me for help. You guys really need to figure this out for yourselves.
There's no point in trying to stop us because we're really desperate. We're gonna get all our belongings together and start getting ready to move to your place. We will finish moving in by the end of the day.
I will report you both to the police if you even step foot on my property.
Wait, what? Why would you get the police involved?
You can try your luck if you really want to. I'm not giving you permission to enter my house, so it's trespassing if you do enter. The police will arrest you as soon as you step inside the house.
How could you do this to us? We're supposed to be family, aren't we? I'm your mom. I was the one that gave birth to you. You should be looking after me until the day I die. I was the one that raised you, after all. Even if you can't allow Kyle to move in with you guys, you need to at least let me move in with you. It's the rule of society to look after your parents once they start getting old.
Shut your mouth, Mom. You never raised me at all. Dad was the only one that ever cared for me. I'm finally enjoying my life now that you're not a part of it. I have a wonderful husband that loves me, and I own my house that I built with my own money. I don't need you to come back into my life to ruin it. I want to maintain my current happy life. You guys are definitely not going to be moving in with me. I finally realized that you were the one making my entire life so miserable. I never want to have to talk to you or see you ever again. My mom didn't end up listening to the warnings that I made to her. She ignored me completely and decided to try forcefully move into my house with Kyle. I had no choice but to call the police as they forcefully stepped foot into my house. The police arrived about 10 minutes after I called them, and both my mom and Kyle were successfully arrested. My mom couldn't believe that she was getting arrested and started arguing with the police. She told them that they should arrest just Kyle and let her free. Kyle was shocked by what she told the police, and they ended up getting into a huge argument on the spot. They ended up cutting ties with each other while simultaneously getting arrested. Kyle was also charged with 2 other crimes after he was arrested. The first crime was for stealing his company's money and using it to gamble. The second crime was terminating my health insurance without me knowing, and stealing the money I put towards paying for my health insurance. He had to spend a little while in prison and also serve a few years of probation. After getting released from prison, he managed to recover from his gambling addiction and start his life from scratch. He successfully managed to get employed at a small company in the countryside and is currently trying to pay back all his debt. On the other hand, my mom's life is not going so well. She was abandoned by both of her kids and she became completely alone. She also had no place to live, so she had to rent a tiny old apartment on the outskirts of the city. She works multiple part-time jobs with minimum wage to barely make a living these days. She messaged me from time to time asking me to forgive her and to let her live with me. However, she was starting to get very annoying, so I blocked her number and cut ties with her completely. I hope she lives the rest of her life regretting how terribly she treated me. Recently, I found out that I'm pregnant and that I was going to become a mother in the near future. I promised myself I would never become like my mom, and that I would love and care for my child forever. My mom gave me a perfect example of how not to raise a child. I will use everything that I experienced as a lesson to become the best mom I can become. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button.